Welcome to the Man Podcast, where your mind truly matters. We're your hosts, Tatenda and Rudy. Here, we tackle life's challenges, foster resilience, and promote wellness. Each episode promises to make a difference, one viewer at a time. Buckle up for a journey of enlightenment, because in the world of man, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Stay tuned.
Hello there and welcome to another one. I trust I find you in good spirits. I'm always smiling because before we start press record, this white man always makes sure that he makes me feel like I'm a clown. Good people, I'm not a clown. Anyway, my name is Tatenda. I'm back with another one. Who's here?
Rudy's here, the smarter of the two.
What's up, fam? It's your boy Alake. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and it's not that I make him look like a clown. He does things that makes himself look like a clown. He does it. He gives you.
I wish you could look at us. I wish you could look at us beforehand and be like, are you really a clown or what?
But it's just you give me so much ammunition by the things you do and the things you say and the thought processes that I can see. It's like the smoke starts to come and then it dies, and then it comes and then it dies.
We're being racist right now,
No, I'm not being
yeah,
racist.
you being, bro. Like literally right now.
No, I'm not calling you anything but dumb. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin.
Anyway, do you believe that I'm dumb? If you're in the comment section, please save a brother out here, because I can't be smoked like this by the same guy week in, week out, because I promise you, before we press record, if I could just drop tears, I would. But because I'm a nice guy, I'm strong. I am,
Please, let's get to the point.
Anyway, welcome to another video. I trust you're all in good spirits. It's Friday, TGIF. What a week it's been. Wow, we are alive. I think that's what's important. We still have a roof over our heads. We still have families that love us. We still have everything that is good that's going our way. Yes, you may wake up and you're thinking, geez, this day is not going well. But there's one special thing, the fact that you are alive. And the fact that you are here on yet another Friday, week in, week out, you are here with us. We do not take it lightly. Thank you. If you are new to the channel, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Like I said, my name is Tatenda. I don't know what his name is, and he's going to introduce himself in a second. So,
For a second time.
oh, did you tell them what your name was?
And this goes back to the first thing that I said about 5 minutes ago. Anyway.
5 minutes? No, it was 2 minutes ago. You see, who's the idiot now?
Okay.
Got you, right? Right in your face, bro. Admit it.
Okay, I'm the dumb one.
It's not even 2 minutes in and you're saying 5 minutes ago. Come on, bruh. You're better than that, right? It's Friday. Come on, people. Do we have to be serious and just jump into?
I am happy it's Friday. It's a busy week and a week that I was not expecting to be so challenging. Not necessarily with huge hurdles, just a lot of things going on and
just a lot of small hurdles.
Yeah, and it's been tough. I think it's been testing. But I'm very, very grateful that it is Friday. I'm very, very happy that it's Friday, and I hope that you guys had a good week, and I hope that this video gives you some sort of relief and a bit of joy, a bit of laughter, because it's a lighter note today.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about success and how you measure success, how we see success. What the outside world perceives success and how they perceive to measure it, and what we just want to talk about, maybe some tips of where you're going, what you're doing, to see things from a different perspective. If you're calling yourself unsuccessful, so I think that's where we're going.
When you said to me today we're speaking about success, I was like, okay, I think it's going to be one of those episodes that once you speak about success and once I have the definition of it, then I'm done. Then I realized that no, man, really just doesn't come up with the topic without giving me the context of the topic. That's beautiful. That's what's deep. Right? I sounded so matured and so smart
For a change.
Smart, bro. So because of that. But anyway, before we get into that, I just want us to go back to the video that we shot on fathers. And the amount of traction it got, it just blew me off. And I just want to come back to the point where we said, I think this was arguably one of the most emotionally daunting subjects that we ever spoken about. And you said at some point that when you were talking, things were just flowing out, and there was a little bit of anger, there was a little bit of frustration as to why gens are doing things that they're doing, or why fathers are not present, or dads are not present. Take me through that. Let's just have a bit of a recap on what that meant to you personally after that, or the week after, or the days after.
So once I watched the video, once I watched the recording itself, and obviously all together, once we had done the editing I actually had time to reflect on it, and you could see that the conversation was flowing. But a lot of the things that we generally speak about, we'll go, you'll have some ideas of, you've read stats and you've read this or you've done that, but last week, like personally, because we both work with children, we see the effect of the topic we're speaking about.
Yeah.
We see firsthand. So I think it is like someone speaking as if they were a politician, and they're sitting in, constant meetings, and they're in forums where they're speaking with the outside people, or they're going to the places that are struggling and things like that. They see firsthand. So it's something that is close to them. Yeah. So I think it was a topic that really hit me because it's something that's close to me. And funny enough, there's always a few children at school that you will, really your heart goes out to them because maybe what's going on in their home life. And there's actually a new child that has really, really, really crept into my heart at school. I think he's grade 1 or grade R.
Yeah.
And I can just see that, he seeks that father figure in his life. And you can't do or say much, he won't understand.
Yeah.
But all you can do is just try and, in the time that you do have with him, be as much as good as you can. Yes, I mean, he is. He's one of the naughty ones, and I think that's probably the reasons why him and I get on so well. But it was something that I think that week and at that time, when you said that topic, it just really resonated something really in my heart, and that's why it flowed the way it did.
Yeah, it's funny that you're saying. To us, it hits home because we're working with children. And I remember at the school that I'm at, where I'm doing PT, there is 3 or 4 kids that are coming from, I don't want to say a home, but it's a children's home.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one of those homes that when a mother gives birth, they can leave on the doorstep. So I think 4 of them, they're sort of more or less the same. And one of them, that boy is clingy. Have you ever seen a boy that always wants to be touchy? He's hugging me and all that.
And then high five means so much more to them than it does to everyone else.
And it dawned on me because the lady teacher comes to me and says, you know what? This boy's language of love language is touch. And before, when he was new, he wanted to do that with me as a lady teacher, hug me, hello ma'am and whatnot. But you could see that she's doing this from a motherly point of view, but obviously society never sees it in that regard, in that manner. So she says, there is Coach Tats. Coach Tats has got a podcast he does about men. He's a pastor. So whenever you feel like you want a hug, go to him.
That's your
and
guy.
Boy, oh boy, the boy is coming.
That's awesome.
Like literally sir, he comes and gives me a hug, then rushes to class.
Yeah,
if he's going to the bathroom and passes me in the corridor, gives me a hug, or I am even with my son, I'm rough. Like literally, sometimes I'm just strangling him and we're screaming, "Mom!" and my wife always like, "Gosh, do I have to go through this over and over again?"
She's got 2 kids.
2 boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I even said to my wife, imagine if Alak had a brother, and me is like, no, I'll die. I will definitely die. So it resonated to me, like what you are saying, that kid, all he needs is love.
Yeah.
All he needs is that attention from a manly figure that's gonna, yes, I can smack him sometimes, we can do high fives, I can chase him and whatnot. All those things they counter. And one of the girls even said, I was playing with Alake during break time just before I left the school, and she says, I wish I had a dad. Just by seeing me and Alake is laughing and I'm tickling him and all that, and it just made me realize that, gents, we're not doing enough. We are not doing enough. And like we said, you don't have to give birth to that to say that's your child or to say you are a father. We can still even have conferences as gents
Be a
whereby
dad to everyone.
we bring every kid, come through, we're just going to be fathers and sons and we're going to have a braai and whatnot.
Yeah.
Something around that manly figure. It just doesn't have to be the person that has given birth to you, but having that in a society, I think that's, to me, really, really resonated, like you're
That's
saying.
awesome. Yeah. And like, it actually leads on to our next topic, which is success, because I think a huge measure of success is the life you lead at home. The mother that you are, the father that you are, and the child that you're bringing up.
Yeah.
Every single mom at home, every single dad at home, every single mom at home, and every single dad at home, you are a success.
Yeah.
Because you are doing your bit and doing your best to raise your child.
Definitely.
So immediately,
Yeah.
in one aspect, in one part of your life, you are a success.
Yeah.
Because in a child's eyes, mom and dad are number one.
Yeah.
You will always be the success. You will always be the role model. Whether at times it's not being the best role model, they will always see you as that role model.
They do.
And you are a success to them. And you will always be something that they aspire to.
Yeah.
So the good things that you do, the bad things that you do, they will aspire to. So you are a success.
Yeah, yeah. That's why it says, especially with being a dad, even if you bring one biscuit or half a biscuit and sit down with your kid and he eats that, to him it's like, wow, my dad is the best. He brought me biscuits.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's not the 100,000 that you're going to
No.
bring or that you don't have, that you're trying to hustle for them and whatnot. But the fact that you are there, that's success. I think the world or society is sort of equated success to finances.
100%.
Yeah, that when I say, Rudy, I'm successful, like, oh, how much is in your bank account?
Yeah.
How many properties do you own? How many cars do you own?
Yeah.
And stuff.
Are you getting that 6-figure salary?
You understand? So at the same time, if you're a parent for a month and that kid has been alive for a month, that's success.
Yeah.
You've kept them alive for a month. If it's a year-old, 10-year-old, whatever the case may be, you are successful in that regard of being parents because you are available. If you're still going to work and you have a roof over your head, that's still success.
Yeah.
The society is so much so as equated success to, if you don't have a 6-figure salary, you can't say you're successful.
Yeah.
And how do we change that then?
I think people, that argument or that vision of trying to constantly chase success, I think that actually falls on people having a complete misunderstanding of what success is. Because I am fortunate enough to know some extremely wealthy people, which we would see them as successful. And they are the most depressed, miserable people.
Yeah.
They hate their job.
They hate their life.
They are unhappy where they are. They feel like they've missed out on certain things. And I'm not saying that if you're chasing that huge job and you're chasing that promotion or anything like that to stop, because it's not everything. No, I'm saying is that there's a broader picture. The highway of success is not a single lane of finance.
Yeah.
The highway to success is, I think, a complete equal highway where you've got 3 lanes going up and 3 lanes coming back, and you've got to know which lane you need to be in at the right time. And if you need to start going back, take the off ramp and go back and do something else. And it's a constant road, and to chase that success or be successful, you've got to know what you are leading to.
Yeah.
Because are you ever going to have enough money?
Never.
No. I don't think anyone that ever has money is going to say, I have enough.
Like, it's fine
So
now.
to chase financial success, you will never reach that goal, because there's no point to you go, I have enough.
Yeah.
I guarantee you speak to the richest man in the world. Why do they not stop working?
Because it's not enough. Yes.
I mean,
It's
they realistically never have to work again. But
it's
they're
not
not
enough.
stopping because it's not enough.
You know what they say? They say, if you're earning 100 Rand, your problems need 200 Rand. If you're earning 10,000 Rand, your problems need 20. If you're earning 1,000,000 Rand, your problems need 2. So because of that, you're always going to be chasing it. And if you're going to chase money or chase finances in that regard, you're never going to sit down and enjoy it. You're never going to sit down and enjoy that which you are accumulating with your family, because your rest of your life, you are chasing that buck. You are chasing that next dollar. You're chasing that next rand. And a lot of times, we tend to look at other people. So take, for example, you look at someone in the podcasting world, you're like, geez, McG is making millions.
Yeah.
So I want to be like him. No. That's the problem. We're always going to be looking at someone else and say, you know what, I want to drive a Bugatti. But then what if they're driving that Bugatti and there's no peace?
Yeah,
and you don't know what they have done to get to that point as well.
And there's nothing wrong, like I said, there's nothing wrong with chasing some certain goals of driving a certain
It's fine,
car.
yes.
It's all good. But like you just said, I mean, and I think it's quite a good analogy is to have, you talk about the highway of success. And if you're just looking at the end point, you're missing the drive.
Yeah.
You're missing the things that you pass on the side of the scenery, and the beautiful weather that you might be driving through, and you don't understand it. Okay, to get to that goal that you so-called have at the end of it, you got to drive through a storm.
Yeah.
You've got to go through a pothole.
You are losing loved ones because you're just fixated on this is what I want.
And that's the thing, is understanding that road that you're going to go on. There's going to be potholes. There's going to be bad weather.
Yeah.
There's going to be
There's going to be tire puncher, right? At some point, you're going to need to change tires.
It's going to be light. And all those things are going into it. But the secret of the matter is understanding that there's 3 different roads. And I tracked you, before we went on air, I was actually driving here and I was looking at it, how do we measure, success, as if we were looking at, like I said, as a highway, and you go, okay, one, I think finances are always going to be part of it.
Definitely.
But and that's for any household, because the reality is you cannot live if you're not without money. You can't. Okay. Yeah. But if you see the money as a benefit of chasing greater success, then it becomes a lot easier, and I think you embrace the finances more. Because I've spoken to so many people with lots of money. They just buy things, but they're not happy.
Yeah.
So if you go finances being one of the lanes, okay, the relationships that you have,
that's equally as important.
The relationships that you have within your household, and within the first 10 people that you would phone in trouble, that is what I would call your close circle. So the people that live under your roof, obviously your extended families, and the first 10 people that are non-blood relatives that you would phone if you were in trouble,
they have your back.
That's the relationships. That's the relationship lane. And the last lane is your personal growth. Is how do you personally want to grow? Where do you see yourself going? And you see those little things as toll gates. Once I get to this toll gate, where that toll gate is a year, I want to have done that. I need to have done that to pay for the toll gate to go through.
To get through.
And the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And if you've got those 3 lanes and you're driving equally in each lane, going faster when you need to go to the right-hand lane and doing all those things, you will be achieving success without even knowing that you're achieving success, because you've got direction.
Yeah.
If you've got direction, you're a successful person. The only person that is not successful is a person that is standing still.
Wow. That's so it comes back again to having a vision, and this is what I want to achieve. I may not know how to get there, or it's okay to acknowledge that there is going to be potholes and whatnot, but at this point,
you got to refill petrol.
At this point, I want to have succeeded, or I want to have achieved 1, 2, and 3 for me to carry on.
Yeah.
And like you are saying, the only fool is the one that is just living their life as if there's
standing on the highway watching the cars go past.
Exactly. I'm just winging it. We always say no, just wing it sometimes, but then that's foolish.
100%.
And in as much as, yes, you can say, I want to be rich one day. I've heard so many people saying, one day when I win the lotto, I'm going to buy a school. And you're like, are you even playing the lotto?
Yeah, you can't.
So that's foolish.
Entered, yeah?
Exactly. So you're not even entering, but you're saying one day when I do this. So one day when I succeed and I have money, but you're doing nothing now to try and get you that money, or to try and get you that what you deem successful. So that's the one thing that I feel as societies, we are not being honest with one another. We're always going to look at someone that is big or someone that is achieved and say, yeah, one day I want to be like him. But we are not willing to sit down with that person and say, what are the obstacles that you went through? What are the challenges? What are the tears, the heartbrokenness? What did you lose to get to where you were? Because there's so much importance as well, that in as much as, yes, you are looking at someone and that is sort of your goal, that you want to be like that person, which is okay, but also sit down with that person and learn from them. There are obstacles. The Bible says, Paul says, let my stumbling blocks be your stepping stones to go forward. So when you sit down with that person and say, yes, he's driving a Ferrari right now, instead of saying, wow, I want to drive a Ferrari, It's okay. Rather be like, what is it that you did that made you to get to a point where you can buy a Ferrari, if you deem the Ferrari as a means of success?
And you know, when you talk about people being successful, and we all know people we deem successful, you know, because I think it's also a personal vision of what you deem success is.
Yeah.
And for me personally, like, people can have nice things. Even someone that doesn't have a lot of money might have nice things. They might be blessed with a nice present. They might have been given it to by a friend.
Yeah.
But for me, the success and learning about success, it's a lot more interesting. Yes, okay, cool, I've seen your Ferrari. But I want to know about the stories that got you to get that Ferrari.
Exactly.
Or the stories that you now have done in that Ferrari.
Yes.
The story is a lot more interesting. And I think you've got that broader picture of sitting down with a person. They go, yes, okay, my bank balance is the X amounts of zeros in it. You're like, cool.
How did you get there?
Not even how did you get there, but
from zero to where you are.
The story of what you did. I think that's a lot more interesting. And socially, if I ever got that wealthy, I would want to talk to people about how I did it.
Yes.
Not to just go and show off and go like, this is, these are the keys for a Ferrari. Or
I've got 1 million subscribers. Yeah, look
cool,
at me,
great.
I'm cool.
It's talking about the road that I went down, and some of the things I would say. Listen, avoid doing this.
Yes.
Or and that is a lot more interesting, and it adds a lot more value to other people's lives.
And society is not doing that. The successful people want to be seen as, I'm buying a new car every year, therefore I'm successful.
Yeah.
What if that person is buying a new car just so that you can see him as successful, but they are sad? How many people have we had that say, I was going through depression, and one would be like, how were you going through depression? Because you were driving this car and you were living in that house, then you moved houses, then you went on a vacation to this country, and how is that possible? Whereas maybe that person was trying to clear out a void. Then you go onto social media and you flaunt around, like what we were saying just now off air, that we're going to put vests on and we remove this background and we put a beach. And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, Tats and Rudy are really successful. They're living the life. Not knowing that, no, maybe we're not even there. We are here. We're sitting in this room and we just removed the background. So again, we are so quick to look at someone's achievements or someone's material stuff.
I was going to say
material things. That they are successful. Just because they are living in such a big house, maybe it's all empty inside. Empty in the sense that it's cold. There is no love. There is no peace. Yes, he may be in that car, it has a full tank, but he doesn't know where to go because he doesn't have family or friends to visit. Because he screwed them over on his way or up the ladder to get to where he is. So, yes, you can look at him as, wow, that guy is amazing, but is he really amazing? As opposed to the one that's going to say, you know what, right now we've got 1,000 subscribers. We can sit down with someone that's starting a YouTube channel now and say, you know what, don't do 1, 2, and 3. Be consistent in this regard.
Yeah.
If you're going to post content that is relevant to what you believe in.
Yeah.
Not jump on just because everyone else is doing gossip, I want to do gossip.
Yeah.
Everyone else is doing gaming, I want to do gaming. Stay consistent in your lane, even though the success is going to come slow or the results are going to come slow. Stay consistent.
Yeah.
That is relevant.
Stick to your highway.
Stick to your highway, like you're saying, the 3 lanes. Yes, there's going to be money that is involved. And we're not going to sit here and say, geez, all the videos that we've posted, we haven't spent anything. Because that's fuel to get here. That's power to make sure that we power out the stuff. That's money for the phones and the cameras. That's money for coming up with topics and connecting to the internet to research.
Yeah.
All those things, for us to get to the point that we are in, we'd love to impart that knowledge of the mistakes that we've made as well to the next person. That way we can say, we are being successful in what we are doing because we are impacting people's lives.
Yeah, and I think it's also, like you just said, is earlier when you spoke about when you're driving down that highway, is enjoying the scenery. Enjoy the trip that you're actually doing. Relax.
Yeah.
Take a breath. You're still moving.
Yeah.
As long as you're moving, you are successful.
Yeah.
So understanding the process of, even if you're driving a little bit slower because there's traffic, even if there's still success, there's progression.
Yeah.
There's progression. Going. So when you are a person that and I will use myself for an example. I made it very clear when we spoke about goal setting a few episodes back, and I said there was things that I didn't achieve that I wanted to last year. It eats at me. There's nights I go to sleep, and it's the stupidest thing in the world, something that I haven't achieved yet. But it sits on me every single night, and I'm not letting it bring me down to depress me. I'm using that as a goal to go, I have to do it.
It has to be
I'm
done.
closer to it. I'm closer than I was last year, which means that last year wasn't a failure. And you said earlier, when, in the Bible where Paul says, my blocks is your stepping stones,
yeah.
It's the very same in our lives. Just because we haven't achieved something that we've maybe set ourselves out to do and achieved it in the time that we feel we should have, doesn't mean we failed. We're not there yet.
Yeah. But we are closer.
But there's progress. And realizing progress within your life and where you're going, that is a success in itself. If you've been at the office today and your boss has asked you for this and you were able to deliver it to him, yes, you did your job, but it was success. It was successful. If someone walked past you and said hello to you, just by greeting you, it means you've developed a relationship with that person that they feel they need to greet you.
Yeah.
That's success.
That's success.
All the little things, and if you can see all those things and go, geez, I'm successful.
I'm doing better than
I'm a lot better.
Yes.
I'm a lot more than what I am.
Yeah.
The fact that your wife is still there next to you in the mornings, gives you a kiss, makes you some tea.
That's success.
That
How
says she loves you.
many people are waking up and they're not even talking to one another, but they're married?
That is a small little success. It's a little bit more distance you've traveled on your highway to success.
Yeah. It's funny that yesterday I woke up, and have you ever woken up to such a crap day? Literally, everything is going wrong. So I wake up in the morning.
It's generally Mondays.
It was Sunday, yes. Sorry, it was on sorry, we're pre-recording, so I keep on forgetting. So wake up and obviously on the phone and you're just trying to check out how your day is going, because I was playing a match at 11. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get through my coaching for the first 4 hours. I wanted to start at 7 to 10, then quickly come fetch him. He needs to be at his game at 10:15. Then they do their warm-ups for 11 o'clock start.
Cool.
So I wake up in the morning, 6 o'clock, I get a message from one of the clients, says, no, everyone is still sleeping. That's one. But you sent me a message yesterday and say it was fine. We confirmed everything, it was okay. You're telling me now at 6:30, I'm about to wake up to take a shower. But what cringes me is the fact that I'm already up. Yeah. So I can't go back to the bed exactly. Sleeping. I could be sleeping and wake up at 7 to start at 8. Now, my 8 o'clock now, sent him sign-up forms and all that, so that he can come back to me with the details of the player so that I can structure the practice session. Then he sends me a message, I think around 7:20, says, are we still on for 8 o'clock? So I'm like, I'm waiting for you to confirm. So I sent you a sign-up form, you haven't sent it back. He did not respond. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Set. I get there, guess what? He rocks up at 8:10. Now, everyone that knows me knows that I'm so punctual that if one is late, I'm screwed up. 1, you are late. 2, I don't even know who the kid is. I don't even know his name. I don't even know what his skill level is. I don't even know what to bring to the session. You understand? That's why I wanted
You don't know him.
I don't know him.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted him earlier I wanted all this information earlier in the week so that I know what to expect.
Yeah.
Fine. He rocks up and the kid is 0, bruh. Literally, when you say, look at Alake has held a cricket bat and whatnot, you know that any kid that you're going to see that is on his level, it's easy to speak about cricket. The kid doesn't even know how to put in a ball box. So now I'm thinking, it's 10 past. They are walking. They're not even rushing to get to me, right? You can see them walking from the parking lot.
There's no drive.
I'm thinking, crap. Okay, kid comes. Kid is sleepy as well. Okay, fine. We start. I put him the stuff on. He's got new pairs. They're too big. The dad bought 2 big pairs. He bought a very small bat. So the gloves, they're not fitting for him to wear. It was a mess. So we ended up, thank goodness, we finished the show, the session. My 9 o'clock is usually there 5 minutes before. Guess what? 5:02, there's nothing. 5 past, nothing. I'm like, oh man, they stay close, so maybe they're coming. Yeah. They woke up late. At 20 past, they call me like, shucks, we forgot. We forgot, but can we still come now? So I'm
And
thinking,
you're not going to say no, you're already there.
yes, I'm there anyway, yes. 1:30, you're coming. I need to leave here exactly 10 o'clock because my son needs to go to cricket. So I'm like, you know what? It's a waste. It's fine. Kid comes and he's having breakfast on the road, bro. Literally, I'm like, this is a waste of a day. Because right now it's going to pad up. By the time he finishes padding up, it's 22. He's still yawning, literally, because he was in pajamas. So fine, I'm like, no, it's fine. Let's leave it. So I get into the car, send my wife, and I'm like, what a crappy morning. Then she sends me a message from one of our ex-church members. She borrowed a big container of food a long time ago. Then the lady does what? She doesn't bring it back to her. She just goes and dumps it at the church. Now, people at the church are sending a message, whose is this? Like it's lost and found. So I'm like, come on. Can this day ever go worse? Literally. Then I was angry at the fact that my wife was not in a good space. So it made me cringe. So I sent the lady a message. Then from there, my wife is like, babes, it's okay, man. Don't allow people to mess up your day. And I'm like, no, man, this is a crapped up
And we
day.
spoke about it last week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And I'm like, nah, but I'm thankful for one thing. I'm thankful that you still love me. And say, no, not only that. You still have a son that loves you. You still have a roof over your head. You're not hungry.
You're in a car
You're
that
car that you drove yourself. So I'm successful.
Yeah, no,
it was not
100%.
as bad. So
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it is extremely hard. I think when you feel, and there's nothing wrong with feeling like you failed, because it's a natural thing to feel like maybe you've not achieved something you've wanted to. And failure is such a strong word, and you know, yes, we'll call them hurdles or setbacks. You know, because failure is such a strong word. I think if something, you can only ever fail if at that point you've completely given up.
wow.
Because if you're willing to try again, you haven't failed.
You haven't failed.
You've fallen over.
Wow.
You know, because and that's the mentality you've got to have. I mean, if you weren't willing to try and restart the day, press reset. Yes, you won't get the time back.
There's importance there.
But you can, you know, you won't get the time back, but you can turn it around. You won't let the rest of the day that you have
Get screwed up, yeah.
be messed up. You'll turn it around and at least have half the day that was good, and be able to go to sleep and be like, okay.
No, it
was
wasn't as
50-50.
bad.
It was a 50-50.
It's funny that I once recorded a video that I said, you know how it is when you're betting and you're betting in batches, where you say, okay, maybe 1 to 10 is too much. Not everyone is going to be like Virat Kohli that goes 1 to 20. So from 0 to 20 runs, then he resets, starts again. Maybe do it 1 to 5. So if you then split your day according to that, where you like, okay, from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock it was screwed up, but I can still sort it out from 10 to 1.
Correct.
Then push it a little bit from 1 to 3. You realize that, you know what, I can actually screw up my whole entire day just because of 3 hours that were screwed up from 7 to 10. But if you forget that and reset, okay, let's start again.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be different. Then there is going to be success. So, yeah, that really took me by storm. And like, we preach these things, but it's easy for us to fall prey for them as well.
Yeah, and you go like you said now. I mean, if you're chasing something, and you can, to make it relevant to the listeners who and the people that, you know, the general society, that materialism and materialistic things are the measurements of success. You know, it's the measuring stick. Let's say that you're chasing that sports car, and you haven't achieved it, but you've been saving, but you still haven't achieved it. If you took a small step back, and you took yourself 5 years back from when you started saving, yes, you might not have saved as much as you want, but you look at the amount that you have saved. Maybe it's 100,000. It's not the 500,000 you need to get that nice car, but you got 100,000.
But there's discipline there, yeah.
You can buy a car for 100,000.
Yeah, yeah.
That means instead of having nothing, you've
got
got the
something.
value of a vehicle already. It's not the vehicle you want,
But it's a
but
vehicle.
you got the value of a vehicle.
Yeah.
And so if we break it down, you break down success to smaller measurements and smaller sort of intervals, and it's the same with our goal setting. It leads to the same thing.
Yeah.
Is if you look at and small little steps and small little achievements and go, okay, on my highway, I've now reached, it's a 700 kilometer drive down to Durban. And I love going down to Durban. I love going to the beach. That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
And the first 3 hours are horrible because you're like, oh, I'm driving. But yet when you've hit Harry Smith, which is halfway,
Like, jeez.
you feel like I'm almost there.
Well, when you pop by the garage,
And
there,
you see,
you're
you're
like,
like, I'm going to
yes.
Wimpy. You know,
Let me just have a breakfast or
that's
something.
when the
yeah.
holiday starts.
Yeah.
But you're not there yet.
You're not.
You're far from
You're
it.
far.
You
yeah.
still got 400
You're not even 50% into the journey.
You've still
yeah.
got 400 odd Ks to go, but you start to get holiday mode. And that's the mentality you've got to take to measure your own success. And not only measure your own, but measure people's around your success, because some people just need that little affirmation going, geez, you're doing well.
You're doing well, yeah.
I'm not saying that you've reached the goal. I'm not saying
But
stop.
you're doing well.
But I can see you doing well because you're on that road.
Yeah.
You're on
Yeah.
your highway and you're
Yeah.
driving.
And
you're going.
you're doing your thing.
Your head's down.
Yeah.
You're enjoying the scenery.
You're doing
but
your thing.
moving.
You're going. You are going. Yeah, that reaffirmation is so good, because if you look at it right now, well, let's look at 2023. 2023 January, everyone was like, yes, I think this is going to be the first year after lockdown, after everything is sort of subsided, because 2021 everyone was still skeptical. 2022 you were like still picking pieces. 2023 was when like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
But it was a tough year.
100%.
But the fact that it was a tough year did not stop us from still getting through to December. That is an achievement on its own. Right now we are already at almost March. This is 3 months into 2024 and you're thinking, crap, this year is already gone. It's going. Before you know it, it's going to be Youth Day, Youth whatever, Youth
Nearly
Month.
a quarter of it is gone.
Exactly. It's going to be Youth Month, June 16, September, December, done. That's it.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, this year is going to be tough. Things are not balancing and this and that. I felt that even now with Feb, because Feb was a very tough financial month for me. But I'm actually thinking, geez, next week I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
The month is almost done, literally. Today is the 20th, I think, 19th, 20th. You understand? So you're like, it was not all that bad. Yeah. And I started my Feb, it was tough, mentally as well. Like, my wife was trying to calm me down and all that, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But yeah, I am. And we're still going.
And another thing that you touched on now is obviously when you have tough times and you're going through that tough time, you don't have to suffer alone. That is one of the biggest things, I think, with if you feel like you've stumbled, we talk about the highway, you've hit a pothole, or you're running out of fuel or whatever. There is no shame in seeking help, in seeking advice, just talking to someone. Because you might be doing fine. You might have fuel in the car. You might not have hit a pothole, but you might be falling asleep.
Yeah.
Only way to not fall asleep, talk to someone.
Exactly. Like, hey, you wake up.
So, for everyone else,
that's
the hurdle that you might have might not be that big. It might be just that you're falling asleep behind the wheel.
But it's a hurdle, and it's going to kill you.
It could end up bad. It could be bad for someone else. So speak to people. And it helped me a lot. I mean, a lot of the times, and I think the things that I'm going through personally at where I am right now and the goals that I want to achieve and I've set for myself and where I see myself going, I'm not that I'm struggling at all, but I do need to speak about them. And it's not that I don't want to right now. I know I'm not that I'm not ready, but I don't want to talk about them just yet. I want to internalize everything first. But I know I'm willing to speak to people. And once I'm ready to speak about it, I will.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep it in for longer than
at some point you will.
I will open up to it, and it might be that I feel a little bit ashamed about the goals that I didn't necessarily achieve, because I see myself as, like I said earlier, I see like I failed and whatever. But I've got to practice what I preach here, and I've got to say,
definitely.
okay, I've achieved more. I've made progression. I've done things, put things in place to make it easier.
Yeah.
Because I realized that maybe that goal that I had last year wasn't necessarily realistic, and I am still successful because I'm further along than I was last year.
Yeah.
And I think that's with everyone. Going back to when you need to speak to someone, do it. Because they might say something that'll give you guidance, give you understanding, give you reference, or they might give you advice that actually allows you to just
push a little bit more.
A little tipping point of getting over that hurdle and going,
go, you got this.
You never know. They might put you in a direction, be like, yes, you're going there. But if you take that off ramp,
that will be faster.
It's faster.
Or that will be slower.
Because up front there's actually a car accident. Take that off ramp, it'll save you 20 minutes.
You're like, wow.
And that comes with talking to people. You have to communicate. You have to be open to talking. And not only open to talking, but open to listening to others.
It's one thing to talk and ask for advice and you're not willing to take it. Well, I can't come to you and say, Rudy, bro, I'm struggling with my budget. Then when Rudy says, no, you need to cut down on the takeaway, like, no, I'm not doing that. What's the point?
like food.
I love food. I love it. Exactly. I love takeaway. So like you're
Can't
saying.
get this dad bod about it.
So you have to be willing to listen and you have to be willing to want to change. There is a boy, before we wrap up, there is a boy that I'm doing, he's doing fitness with me every day, but he's got a condition. And what I'm always pushing him is, if we say we've got a meeting, we start your exercise at 9. He rocks up at 15 past, quarter past, 20 past. Not because he knows he's late, but because he knows that my session ends at 10. So if I push it a little bit longer of me being there, that means we're going to do less. You understand where it's coming from? And it took me time to realize this, like, no, man, you're actually manipulating the system. Because when I then scream at him and say, you know what, when you are late, you are disrespecting the person that you have an appointment with. Yes, I find it's okay. There's going to be days where maybe the gate is not opening. There's
Life
not shedding.
happens.
Life
Life
happens.
happens,
5-10 minutes, it happens. But it cannot be an everyday thing that at quarter past, that's when you rock up. And you tell me, no, the gate did
Because
not
there's no
want to
time
open.
for warm up now.
You understand?
You just want to get
Everything,
into it.
exactly.
Oh, so he's manipulating the
He's
system.
manipulating the
Yeah.
system. So I'm like, if you are saying you woke up late and you could not get out of the house because there was load shedding and whatnot, why don't you start those things at 8? So that even if it means that you're going to leave the house at 8:30, because you know yourself, he does not walk fast. No. Never walks fast. If you are leaving your house at quarter past and you've got a very big yard, to walk from the house to the gate is taking you 5 minutes. To walk from your gate outside into the street to get to the school where I am is taking you another 5 minutes. That's 10 past.
Yeah.
For you to open the gate of the school to walk down to me, again, that's another 5 minutes. Then you say, how was your night? And this, and you want to catch up. You understand?
You actually only have half a session left.
So I'm like, you are wasting your time and mine. Yes, for me, it does not.
And your parents' money.
Exactly, parents' money. It does not affect me as much. But you're the one that wants to change. You want to lose weight. But then I hear your mom telling me that every single day you go sit down and eat 2 kg of ice cream. Then you're saying you want to change.
Yeah.
You're saying you want to succeed. You're saying you want to change your body or to change your mind, because once you're worked
It's got to be an
out,
all-in
it
thing.
has to be.
Yeah.
So you can't go to someone and ask for advice and not willing to listen to what they're going to say.
Yeah.
That you can't. Really, let's wrap it up. And for the person that is in the comment section, maybe let us know what your definition of success is and what you are doing, what you were doing last year to where you are right now. Is there a difference? Can you notice that difference? And can you even point it out to your mate as well? Like, geez, last year, this is what we were doing. This year, we're doing this. Last year, maybe I could not get off my phone. This year, I can leave my phone for 6-7 hours and I'm still good. That's success.
Yeah.
Because you're targeting something and you're pushing at it. What do you mean? What do you think?
I think, there's so much in what you said that's true. And I think, another way of looking is, like I said, this entire podcast is, you're on your highway. Understand the process, enjoy the ride, accept that it's not all smooth rides. There's going to be potholes. There's going to be, roadblocks. There's going to be times where you've got to pull over to put petrol in. There might be just a time that you've got to pull over just to stretch your legs. Understand the process, accept the process, and realize that every time that you are in the road and on the road driving, you are taking a step forward and making yourself more and more of a success. And that is the way that you need to look at your life.
Awesome stuff. If you're new to the channel, again, liking, sharing, and subscribing, make sure that we are growing. And as you're sharing with your friends, you know the nitty-gritty. Someone else is going to find relevance in what we are saying and what we are doing and what we're trying to achieve in our success journey or in our highway, like Rudy has just said. If you are coming back, thank you for your faithfulness and loyalty to our channel and your comments. We see you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a lekker weekend and stay strong. Cheers.
Cheers.